everyone, Gene Zimmerman here. Wanted to share some thoughts about being a solopreneur. I'm casually calling this the Solopreneur Journey with Gene Z, and just trying to get just share some ideas over the next days about what it's meant to be a solopreneur and how I've navigated that, the practices that I've put in place, both from a business standpoint, a work standpoint, but also from a personal standpoint, trying to maintain balance when I'm not in that space of and place of going to an office. You see, I'm a former corporate type guy for over 2 decades, and over the course of my entire career, been a lot of air miles. So really about 1.5 million of them, which is 3 round trips to the moon. To give you a little fact for today. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of zoom out to 30,000 feet on the Solopreneur Journey, which I've been on now for almost a decade, and just share some things in the video today, but mostly in the videos upcoming about how I've navigated, things I've learned and picked up and figured out along the way. Really half a dozen or so different areas. What I do from a physical standpoint, exercise-wise, daily routines, what I do from to kind of keep myself motivated and focused, what I do for spiritual practices to kind of keep my head straight and head in the game when business as a solopreneur goes through those ups and downs, which are I'd like to say unavoidable, but I would say unavoidable, would like to say they're avoidable. But for me, that hasn't been the story that I've had up to this point. It's been a roller coaster ride and been challenging. So want to share some of the things that I've learned along the way in that whole realm of physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, that's helped me out in kind of maintaining focus or regaining it when I've lost it. Also, travel tips. I think I come a little bit qualified with that, and certainly I've done the corporate thing where there's an expense report, and I won't say money's no object, but it's a little bit different. It's an expense report, it's an expense account, and what it's like when it's my own money, when I'm going on business trips to meet prospective clients, and it's a decision I make on the basis of an expectation of maybe being awarded that business. And how have I navigated that? How have I done that in a way that is reasonable, but at the same time not killing myself? And maybe most importantly, and maybe most in detail over time, will be what I'll just call productivity hacks. Things I've picked up along the way in terms of setting up my own office, setting up my own business, running that, keeping it running, doing everything in the business. I don't have a VA, I don't have an assistant, it's just me, and how do I navigate that? I think most important of all of that, apart from me keeping myself centered, has been how I've navigated that relationally with my wife, my son, my other children who are now grown out of college and living on their own. And what does that look like? How do I manage that? How do I have the advantage as a solopreneur of making my own time? But then there's the reality is that time creeps in, and work time takes over personal time. And how do I navigate that? You see, my office is in the home, and that's a good thing and a bad thing. My commute is all of about 60 seconds. Coffee's readily available, but sometimes there's a whole bunch of other negatives that come along with that. And so over time, I'll share with you over these coming videos some thoughts on navigating the home office and what does that look like. But most important over all of this is my desire to share with you what I've learned about integrity. And by integrity, I don't mean integrity as in terms of honesty, but I mean integrity in terms of integrated wholeness, holistic, having a work life, but having a personal life, and how that all integrates together. You see, it's a lot harder to segment and separate than it is when you drive to the office and you're at the office and you're one persona, and you get back in the car and you drive home and perhaps you're a somewhat different persona. You can be two different people, but when you're a solopreneur, and most importantly, when your home office is in your home, you're one person, and who you are and how you show up is not only important and critical for your family, but also for your clients. And how does all that look? What does that look like? So how do you live an integrated life in a practice as a solopreneur? So that's what I want to share over the coming weeks. Hope you'll stick around. I'll try to give a little bit of a nugget in the title, in the description, so that you can see if that one's spot on for you, or whether that one's maybe one that you'll take a pass on and catch up with another time. But love to have you follow along, listen along, and check it out. So till next time, see you later. Take care. Gene out.